We were in what was then the Soviet Union in Moscow at Lenin Stadium. We were quite successful at this time. This was during the album called New Jersey, and so it was even after Slippery When Wet. But we were on this bill with a band called the Scorpions out of Germany and a band called Mötley Crüe out of Los Angeles and Skid Row and Cinderella and Ozzy Osbourne and all these bands. And every band had been reduced to basically becoming a bar band again, simply because in the Soviet Union, none of our records had ever been officially released. And so the idea of going out there and resting on hit songs or whatever banter you had with an English-speaking audience was now out the window. And we played the first night, and I had been relying on, hey, here's a song called Livin On A Prayer. I think this will work. Here's a song called, Wanted, Dead or Alive. I think that's going to work. Well, guess what? It didn't work. So we got our booties kicked the first night because I had learned to rely on these hit songs. And so I said, okay, guys, I got a great idea. We got our butts kicked by the German band, the Scorpions, and I give them credit for this 20 years later. But the second night, I said, here's what we're going to do. I said, you guys are going to start this song. Don't worry about when I get to the stage. I'll get there. And I went to the back of the stadium, and I suggested to a Russian soldier that for a pair of Levi's and a couple of T-shirts, he give me his uniform. And I wore it from top to bottom, hat, coat, gloves, pants, the whole 10 yards. And I walked down the center aisle of the stadium with a microphone in my pocket. And I took it out, and I more or less did a striptease the whole way to the stage. One glove, one hat, one coat, one shirt, and then I had a T-shirt and jeans on underneath it. By the time I hopped on that stage, the entire stadium was going absolutely nuts. And accidentally, I should lie and say, somebody hit a pyrotechnics button on the downbeat of the song, and boom, the pyro went off that weren't meant to go off. And a guy in another big band turned around to the promoter of the show and punched him right in the nose. And he says, you planned this. And he says, I didn't know a darn thing about it. And I just looked at my bandmates, and, we won the night, we won the headlines, we won the whole deal. And it was, the story was told.